Welcome to Sometimes There's Side Eye, a podcast about two friends having real and unfiltered conversations about dogs and people. Listen as we talk about our lives with dogs, training, behavior, share some laughs, and a whole lot of banter. I'm Heather.
And I'm Christy.
What are we talking about this week, Christy?
We are going to talk about ways to reduce stress and find joy with your dog. Look, it's a difficult time. We had a whole nother episode planned, but we're recording this on January 26th, and it feels weird not to do something that just recognizes where we're at as a country. And wherever you stand politically, that's not our objective to get to the bottom of. I think there are just a ton of people who are at their wits end, at their breaking point. Yeah, they've given all they can. They're doom scrolling. They're seeing all the things that are happening in our country right now. And there's not an easy way to find joy right now. And I was thinking that one, our dogs don't know the political climate. They don't know, Republican versus Democrat protests. They don't know any of that, which is good for them.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty jealous right now, I'll be honest.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a chance for them to bring us joy and peace in a way that we can't find among other human beings right now. And so I thought, we can't fix the world. We can't fix this time in history, but maybe we can give you some pointers to at least start you thinking about ways to get outside of yourself, to think outside of the box when it comes to stress relief. During this time.
Yeah. So when Christy brought this topic to me, I just pretty much felt a resounding yes. I had said to someone earlier today that I suffer from general anxiety disorder from sort of where I am now, but from a PTSD diagnosis from a traumatic experience. And I am feeling really anxious these days, and it is taking me back to what have I been doing for the last 5 years to manage my anxiety successfuless? And so I kind of wanted to share a couple of those things because I think that the anxiousness of the world right now is wrapped up in all of the different things. And if we can even have some tips on how to deal with that, a piece of it, a piece of what we're feeling, then maybe it can start the ball rolling or even just take the edge off. So,
yeah. And we're not experts. So if you're feeling, overly anxious or depressed, go seek professional help. Please don't listen to this podcast. We're not those people. But hopefully we're hopefully going to give you a tidbit of like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. That might be, I might try that and see if that brings me some calm.
And not surprisingly, 3 of the tips I'm going to give are all related to my dogs. So these are tips that I was given by a professional, and I related them back to my dogs and how they can help me. So the first one I would say is finding joy in the smallest things. And so I'll give you a couple of examples. Sitting in the sunshine with my dogs, breathing in the blue skies of Arizona, that brings me joy. And I do that sitting alongside my dogs. So that simple moment of going outside, letting the sun hit my face, and doing that with them is something that helps me to take a breather, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
So that would be one of the first ones.
Although if you're in one of our cold weather states, we're sorry. We're sorry.
Well, but even just stepping away, that forces you to step away from the bubble that maybe you're sitting and doom scrolling in, or stepping away from your computer for work where you're just staring. Forces you to get up and move your body and go to a different space physically. So Although, if you're in the East Coast where you just got all the snow, I'm so sorry. It does really give you a reason to kind of get the blood flowing
Mhm.
and change your space. So
Yeah.
that would be one. And then of course I'm doing it alongside my dogs.
Yeah, of course.
Another one that I use is if I feel myself starting to feel anxious or go to a place mentally where I don't want to be, I
Mhm.
ground myself. And of course, I ground myself using Tiago because, hello.
What do you mean when you say you ground yourself?
So here's the example of grounding myself. I focus on what I smell, what I see,
Mm,
what I feel. It is using my senses to take in that experience. So
mm,
for me, I will hug Tiago. I will feel his fur. I will
mm,
smell his fur. I will
mm,
look down and see him. I use my senses to focus on him. And
mhm.
that is how I ground myself using him.
That's
So
wonderful.
it is. And it is really helpful. And sometimes all I have it all I have available is to use maybe one or two of my senses. And
Mhm.
so my choice is to feel his fur and smell his fur.
Okay,
So
yeah.
if you can't do it all, if you need to close your eyes and breathe deep, I would say breathe deep into your dog.
Mhm.
Don't choose a bulldog, they stinky.
I was like trying not to giggle to myself as I was picturing you trying to do this with with
No,
Tater.
Tater and Trin are not the choice. Oh. And then the third one that I use, now this involves a little bit of training, but I sort of took it from something he was offering naturally. I taught Tiago to quote unquote cuddle, which means he takes his head and puts it on my chest.
Mm,
And the weight of his head can be very grounding
mm,
and it can give me something else to focus on. It's very comforting. And
mhm,
so if you have any dog, maybe you don't have a dog with a big head, but you have a dog that likes to sleep on your chest. Trin also likes to sleep on my chest. Very
yeah,
grounding, very comforting, the
mhm,
warmth of their body. When Tiago does it, I will actually match my breathing to his breathing. So if I
mm,
have like a hurried pace in my breathing, I will try to slow down by matching his breath, and that is very helpful. But you could use that with a small dog, with a cat. You could stroke your
yeah,
cat's fur. There's a lot of different ways to take what I do and
mhm.
morph it into something that works for you. So those are my three tips of how I have taken things that therapists have given to me as tools and sort of modified them into what works for me and my dogs. And I am reminding myself that I need to use those things right now.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. My tips are much simpler.
I've gone to a lot more therapy than Christy.
I know. Um, Mine are really simple. Go walk your dog with no
Yes.
goal in mind.
Oh,
So
I love that.
not the goal of having a perfect heel or going on an adventure or whatever, but just walk with your dog with no goal in mind. I did that actually right before we came and recorded. I just let him walk and he sniffed around the park and he actually started out pretty anxious himself, which is really unusual for him.
Mm,
And so probably feeling a little of my anxiousness. And
mm,
by the end, we were both like a big sigh of relief.
mm,
I would also say if you're out and you see beauty, just
mm.
recognize it. So, also on our walk tonight, it was a really lovely sunset. Again, Arizona. I was out in capri pants and a light sweater and enjoying the beautiful sunset. Obviously, wherever you're at, there's beauty. Sometimes it's
Mm,
really hard to find, but you can find beauty in the way the light reflects off the snow or that inch of ice that's on your trees right now hangs down,
mm,
whatever it is, find some beauty. And if you have a dog that will allow you to stand and observe that beauty, then do that. Take a
Take a
minute.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have a dog that allows you to stay in that moment, that's okay too. Recognize it. Maybe take a picture of it so
Mm-hmm.
you have it for later. I know a lot of times we say like disconnect from your phone if you're walking but if you have a dog that's like, hey, we cannot stay for more than 2 seconds, we got to go, go,
Yeah.
go. That's okay. Like just maybe take a picture so you can say, oh, that was really as beautiful as I thought it was. And think through that. And I would say with your dog, just play some fun games.
Mm.
Like, we played some tossy treat games tonight. I'm planning on playing with Jackson in the backyard. He loves when I go to the backyard and just act like I'm going to chase him for no reason, and he zooms around the yard. And that his unbridled joy brings me joy. And
Mm.
so sometimes it's just taking a step off the couch to do that. And then seeing your dog smile is like such a weight lifted, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, or at least it is for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if you're looking for more structure, I would say, some dogs really enjoy training. Some people really enjoy training, but like train something fun, not
Uh-huh.
serious.
I'm
Just,
doing trick training right now.
yeah,
I am
just
hardcore trick
fun
training right
things.
now. Yep.
Yeah. Things that bring you and your dog joy. Things
Mm-hmm.
that aren't overly thought out or are tough, things that aren't going to bring frustration. And that might be revisiting old tricks too, that
Mm-hmm.
your dog can nail, but they're going to love getting a treat for that.
Yeah. And I would say as well, if all you have to give is to take 20 minutes and go lay with your dogs and cuddle in bed, by all
Yeah.
means, go
Yeah.
for it. Like, if you just need to pull your covers over your head and take a moment, or maybe your dog can't offer you that, but you need it, do not be afraid to take that. Put the phone down. We're all doing it to a fault. I've been trying to read more, which is not dog related, but I really have been trying to make a concerted effort to take moments to be away from everything. Just figure out something that you can do to find a little peace.
And if you're in a stage where you don't have a pet, but
Yeah.
you're still listening to us, hi,
Hi.
Karen.
We love you.
Maybe ask to borrow a friend's dog if
Oh,
you're
I
like,
love that.
hey, I just need some animal time because animals do good for our hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
They
it's
lower
okay.
our
Like,
blood.
if you're like, hey, I actually don't need any more human time. Can I just borrow your dog? I, for one, am not going to be offended by that. I love
Mm-mm.
to see my friends, but I also understand sometimes we need no more people time.
Yeah,
And that's
I
okay
get
too.
that. Yep. Yeah, so everyone, please, please take care of yourself
Yes.
and do whatever you need to do to stay as well as possible right now.
Yeah.
And know that we recognize that it's tough times, and hopefully you've gotten a tip here, or you listen to this and think, I know somebody who really needs to listen to this, and you can pass it on, and that sort of shares the love a little bit to give people ideas how to take care of themselves right now.
Absolutely. If you've enjoyed this episode, subscribe, rate, and share us wherever you get your podcasts. Also, come on over to Instagram and engage with us at Sometimes There's Side Eye.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.